With Russell Real Estate, and today I wanted to go over actually an email that I received from one of the top loan officers in our area. His name's Brian Thomas. He works with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and I've worked with him on a couple of deals. He's very good. He has an excellent supporting staff and team around him. And he is one of the three loan officers that I do recommend on a pretty regular basis. That being said, I just wanted to go over this email that he sent this morning, and I thought that it was really interesting because I've gone over some of this information in other videos, in Facebook and Instagram posts, and I've even shared some of this on LinkedIn as well. But basically, what he says here is recently he's had a few friends ask him, when are prices going to come down, and when is all the inventory from the foreclosures going to hit the market? I also see comments like this all the time, just on Facebook posts. Things are getting pretty testy out there, as they often do, between Facebook, Twitter. People of varying opinions, not necessarily playing nice when they're commenting online. But I'm of the belief, just like Brian is here, that these are common misunderstandings. And I don't think that prices are going to come down dramatically anytime soon either, just because of supply and demand. That's Econ 101. So when there are too few goods being chased after by too many buyers, then that's going to keep prices higher. So right now, the inventory or the supply side for available houses listed for sale is very, very low. And even with the high interest rates and the relative lack of affordability, there are still enough buyers out there that it has slowed down our home price appreciation, but we're still seeing homes go up in value. They're still appreciating, they're just not appreciating like they were from 2020 to 2021, even to the first part of 2022. So these statistics are going to be national statistics. I always like to take these with a grain of salt and run it against numbers for my local area, which I serve Northeast Ohio, the greater Cleveland area, basically Cleveland down to Akron, over to Medina, and then up to like the Lorain area as well. And basically what we see here is the average annual inventory of homes for sale. So this is months of supply of unsold existing homes. So for anybody who's unfamiliar with this metric, months of supply, typically they say a balanced market is going to be between basically having between 5 and 6 months of supply of houses. If you have less than that or fewer than that, you're going to be in a seller's market. If you have more than that, you're going to be in a buyer's market. So a buyer's market, an example of that would be basically from 2007 to 2011. You could see that buyers actually had their pick of choice basically for whichever homes they wanted to buy, because there were a lot of houses listed for sale and there weren't very many buyers, or there were fewer buyers than there were houses listed for sale anyways. The past several years, basically dating from 2017 on, has been a very strong seller's market where we've been at or below 4 months of inventory. And that was really highlighted by 2021 and 2022, especially the first half of 2022, where we were under 3 months of inventory for months of supply there. So this year we're back up to 3.3. It seems like a big stretch. That's where people have basically, maybe they're comparing and they have some recency bias in their memory. So they're thinking, wow, compared to 2021 and 2022, days on market is sitting a little longer. But when you look at where we're at for months of supply, we're still stronger than we've been in the past 24 years, with the exception of the past 3 years here. So the other thing that you have to think about is basically, okay, are we having more or less people uh, into our country, whether they're moving or migrating, immigrating into our country, whether it's just more people are being born. You look at the population from 2000 to where we're at today. Now we have 335 million people here in the United States, but then you look at the inventory of existing homes available for sale, and while that peaked in 2007, 2008, really, at 4 million houses for sale, right now we're at 1.1 million houses for sale. So we have more people than ever in our population, but we have almost fewer homes listed for sale than ever as well. So once again, that is going to keep prices high because the people who can afford houses right now, sometimes if they have a low interest rate, they don't even want to sell their house. If they can afford to take on that payment and just buy the new house, then they can rent their existing house out. So they're not even necessarily adding to the supply side, which is just further compounding that issue. So, one way that we can combat that, you would think, is just by building new houses. So, you could see here, this next slide is the average annual units completed per year. And basically, this dotted line is what it should be. We had 14 years in a row that was below the 52-year average dating back to 1970. So we don't have the 2023 stats, obviously, since this year has not been completed. But we had 14 years in a row where we were underbuilding. And why is that? Well, if you look at this, 2005, 2006, 2007, we were still building houses like crazy. We were oversupplying the market. And, between having more than enough houses being built and with our poor credit channels and basically risky, you know, risky loans that were being given out, we had the housing crash basically that led us into the great financial crisis, and we were in a recession. That scared a lot of builders off. It put some builders out of business. So as a result, we have been underbuilding for years and years and years. And again, couple that with population increasing since that time as well. Well, I mean, we're basically short a bunch of houses right now. And one other thing to keep in mind too is builders don't want to be cutting their own throats either. They know that the more houses they build, the more competition they have, basically. So they don't want to flood the market with a ton of houses because honestly, this is a prime time for them. They don't have much competition, so they can name their price. Again, within reason, because interest rates are what they are and housing affordability is what it is. But if they just flood the market with a ton of affordable houses, that's good for the short term. Sure, they can make some money, but it's hurting them in the long run. So we're likely not going to see that particular area make up this huge difference or this huge shortage that we're lacking currently. And then people talk about foreclosures as well. And this just shows where foreclosures are right now. So the number of foreclosure filings is near all-time lows. So you could see crazy statistics like, oh my gosh, we've tripled the amount of foreclosure filings since 2021 or whatever the number is going to be. But when you compare it dating back the past 20 years, we're basically at all-time lows. We're half of what we were even in, just immediately before COVID started. Then we had a foreclosure moratorium, we had forbearance. We did everything possible where basically we were trying to avoid foreclosures. And with the low interest rates, the stimulus money, everything like that, our economy was chugging along, there's really not a ton of foreclosures that are going on right now. That being said, credit channels are being stressed a lot more. The student loan repayments are starting again this month, so we're going to see more challenges for homeowners or potential home buyers. But and again, that's not to say that not every homeowner has student loans, though, because a lot of the times, if they are homeowners already, maybe they have been out of college for several years or longer. Maybe they're more established. Maybe they were able to buy a home when interest rates were at 3% instead of 7%. And maybe they're doing a little better. So I think that starting the student loan repayment program is actually going to hinder first-time home buyers a lot more than it would for existing homeowners who already have some equity in their house. But this is just going to show that there aren't a ton of foreclosure filings. And once again, we're not expecting this wave of foreclosures to add a ton of supply to the market. Yes, it may add some. That's going to be more so in pockets or in areas of the country as well. So, that being said, this is all national data. I think that everything is, when it comes to real estate, needs to be hyper local. But unless there is a job loss recession here in Northeast Ohio, that is going to take out a lot of homeowners' positions, basically, and they are in a position of financial distress. I don't see a wave of supply hitting the market, and for that reason, that's why I don't see home prices decreasing dramatically anytime soon. If they decrease at all, I think it'll be minor, but my belief or my opinion is more so that we're going to see slow to moderate growth. It might be 0 to 3%, something like that. And basically, we're just going to keep chugging along. If you have any questions regarding any of these charts, if you want to point anything out that you think I missed, feel free, reach out to me. Or if you just have a question for me, especially regarding the Northeast Ohio housing market, feel free, reach out. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Otherwise, have a great day.